Developed by Cebu Kaihatsu and released in 1993, Zero Team is a 1 to 4 player game where you set out to rescue a kidnapped woman from an evil organization led by a man that resembles Grandpa Munster if he was a T-800 Terminator missing half of his face. There are 4 heroes you can choose between. Ace, the masked ninja, donned in a red biker outfit. He has an air combo that ends in a Shoryuken that launches enemies upwards towards the sky. He can do a delayed jumping attack that stun locks enemies and lands multiple attacks. Speed, the other masked ninja wearing a blue outfit. His air combo ends with a Shoryuken as well. He's basically the same as Ace, just blue. Spin, the biker girl wearing a headband and not much anything else. She has a rapid punch attack that stun locks enemies, and her air combo will combo bad guys in the air and spike them like a volleyball, knocking down any foe in its trajectory. She also has an air grab that snatches and flings any villain as a projectile weapon. And finally, there's Big O, the older strongman archetype of the group, sporting a scar running down the left side of his face. His air combo, once again, ends with a Shoryuken. He has a body splash attack like Hagar from Final Fight and a lariat move if you jump back and hit attack. The game uses an attack button and a jump button. It has responsive controls and you can pick up various weapons like barrels, motorbikes, and rocket launchers, as well as some of the backgrounds being interactable. You can throw some of these objects in multiple directions towards the bad guys. Each character also has a special move where they beam a laser into the sky and it strikes down surrounding enemies. For an arcade game, the difficulty seems very generous, and I think with some practice this could be a doable 1-credit game. If you grew up or were around in the 80s or 90s, you probably have passed by an arcade machine called Rastan Saga more times than you can even count. The game was set up everywhere, from arcades to grocery stores and even laundromats. If you were a kid with a few quarters in your pocket, chances are you even stopped to play it a few times, if not a few hundred, mesmerized by its fantasy setting and impressive graphics. Until the late 90s, I wasn't even aware that there was a sequel released in arcades until I discovered emulation. The sequel wasn't horrible, but it didn't deliver the same groundbreaking gameplay as Rastan Saga. And it wasn't until very recently that I discovered there was a 3rd chapter in the Rastan Saga, but this time in the form of a beat-em-up. Warrior Blade Rastan Saga Episode 3 was released by Taito exclusively for Japanese arcades in 1991. Why this never shipped outside of Japan completely boggles my mind, because this game is absolutely amazing. The arcade cabinet was a dual-screen monitor giving up to 2 players a panoramic view of this dreary fantasy world. In contrast with the successful X-Men arcade game, which also used dual monitors but facilitated 6 simultaneous players, Warrior Blade had dual monitors mostly for aesthetics, as you could only play 2 characters at a time. Perhaps the price of the cabinet with the extra wide screen had something to do with why it wasn't brought to America, as the whole game's storyline is in English subtitles as well as Japanese throughout the entire game. So it seems as though initially they may have had plans to release in English-speaking countries. The 3 characters you can choose between are Rastan, the aspiring warrior king and star of all 3 games, Dewey, the agile knife wielder seeking vengeance for his murdered family, and Sophia, the thief who was formerly a princess before her empire was destroyed. In addition, there's also a mysterious wizard named Maha Diddy Karate that aids the team throughout the game. Not sure if I pronounced that name right. There are 3 buttons to control your character: attack, jump, and magic. The game is overall on the fair side of beat-em-ups, and there doesn't seem to be any cheap quarter-stealing mechanics at play. You can also choose your path throughout the game, which is a nice option. This game ranks high on the best old school beat 'em ups I've ever played, with tight controls and awesome graphics. You really can't go wrong with this one. Guardians, developed by Winkysoft and released by Banpresto only in Japanese arcades, is a sequel to another Japanese exclusive game, Denjin Makai. If I were to pick the 5 craziest beat 'em up games, this one would surely rank on that list. It would also rank high as one of the best beat 'em ups ever made. There are 8 characters to choose from, ranging from typical anime archetypes to flat out bizarre. First, there's Zeldia, the blue-winged bird girl with claws like Wolverine. She even has wings on her head for extra wing action. Next, there's Jinrei, the ninja with a wild hairdo and what looks to be cybernetic antennae attached to the side of his head. He's even wearing hot pink to make himself blend in more with his environment. Then, there's Skullbuel, the alien bug-like creature with one alien hand and one alien crab claw. He's my favorite character based on just his design alone. Next, we have Garulian, the semi-normal looking guy with an ultra late 80s, early 90s MTV fashion sense. He's wearing shades to better protect his eyes from his fire attacks he produces from his fire gauntlet. Then, there's Kirokishi, the token fan service girl. She looks like something straight out of a 90s anime like Gunsmith Cats or The Dirty Pair, complete with obligatory panty shots. Next up is Rao, the martial arts master mixed with cyberpunk that fights with an electric whip and a kamehameha. Then we have Tulks, the strong man wearing a pair of getas and a fundoshi designed by John Rambo, complete with a handgun holstered on his crotch. And last but not least, we have P. Belva, straight out of a 90s mech anime. Not sure if it's a human or a robot, and I don't think I care. So what makes this game so great anyways? Well, first off, look at these characters. They're absolutely ludicrous. This boss looks like Marisa from Street Fighter 6 with synthol injections. Look at how disproportionate she is. This is great. The artists on this game set out to create something totally obscene, and it looks amazing. Look at these alligator humanoid things. They look like something out of Toxic Avenger 2. And these bug guys, they look like bad guys straight out of Ultraman. The color palette is so bright, it almost hurts your eyes, but in a good way. I would wager that there's not a brighter, more colorful game made in the 90s, and that's saying a lot. The whole game just projectile vomits neon colors left and right. What is better than this? The controls are super responsive, and there are a lot of moves for each character. You even have the ability to block attacks, and that's a rarity in beat 'em ups. It's like Darkstalkers impregnated Double Dragon, and after the child was born they divorced, and then the child ended up living and being raised by the mom. This game is a blast to play, and if there's a downside, it's that it's only 30 minutes long. You can even find this game on Fightcade if you're looking to play multiplayer. I highly recommend this game along with the other 2 games in this video if you haven't already played them and you are a fan of the beat 'em up genre. Thank you for watching this video of 3 obscure beat 'em up games that I think everyone should play. Please subscribe and like the video if you'd like to see more content like this in the future. I hope you enjoy these games as much as I did, and just remember, when life gets you down, play some beat 'em ups.